Hey guys, welcome to the show today. We are continuing our AFC North previews, divisional previews. I had a couple of my buddies on last night to help me do that. We previewed the Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, and Browns, all for fantasy football purposes, what we liked, what we didn't like. And then we also did a little bonus segment for ADP players that we absolutely love. That episode will premiere tomorrow. We decided to do 2 different episodes rather than one big chunk episode. A little longer than normal, but it all worked out. I appreciate you guys listening, and I will see you guys soon. All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Got 3 of my good buddies here today to talk some AFC North fantasy football divisional previews with you guys. We got Big Drew, Big Casey Malone, and Big Joe all in the building. We got a Ravens fan and a Steelers fan. And Big Drew did some research for us on each team. We're going to start off with the Bengals. Big Drew, I want to welcome these guys in. What do we got on the Bengals, Big Drew?
Well, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Anytime.
So, for the Bengals, they really had a quiet offseason. Not many big moves. In free agency, they picked up Trey Hendricks, defensive end from the Saints last year. And then Riley Reif was their big addition to the O-line, which has been struggling and
terrible. They've been awful the last 5 years.
Exactly, and they didn't do much to protect Joe Burrow, and that's supposed to be their guy. So, but they did add Jamar Chase.
Yes,
I know we're big fans of Jamar.
Beast, bro.
Best wide receiver in the draft.
Yeah, I wanted the Dolphins to take him really badly.
For sure.
That owner there, ever since he bought the team, has actually been one of the cheapest owners in football. He refuses to pay up, and I think that's one of the reasons why Carson Palmer and Marvin Lewis decided to leave. But when it comes to fantasy prospects, Case, who are you liking on the Bengals this year, bro?
Wide receiver T. Higgins, his ADP at 69.
All right.
Really shoots out to me. That's at the end of the 7th round. Points per game last year were 12.2.
Yes, but he didn't come onto the scene until week 6 when he started to blossom because he was a rookie. So the points per game numbers might be a little bit skewed, but
as a rookie last year, receivers actually tend to boost their stats in the second year.
So, Case, would you rather have T. Higgins or Jamar Chase?
Their ADP is around the same round,
right?
If I had to choose one, I'd probably go Jamar.
All day,
dude.
Yeah. All day. Jamar Chase is literally...
But I think T. Higgins is a little bit slept on in drafts.
No, he is. All the Bengals receivers are. Even Tyler Boyd at 95 in the middle of the 10th round is a steal. I think that the Bengals offense is going to be really good because their defense is going to be really bad.
But I think 60 is good for...
For Jamar?
For Jamar.
Yeah, I would agree. But Boyd is low.
I think 60.
I think Tyler Boyd is low on that.
Tyler Boyd's a value.
Yeah, big time. I think that those 3 pass catchers are the ones that you'd want for the Bengals. Drew Sample, the tight end, is god awful. I don't know how in the world.
He's not going to be a factor.
No, not at all.
I think if the Bengals can keep Burrow healthy, they have a really good shot of at least going above 500.
Oh, I think so too, yeah.
For the whole, 5-6 games he played before he got hurt, he threw for almost 3,000 yards.
No, he was a beast. He was a beast. He had
it's there, but they just have to figure it out.
And their O-line is terrible. Yeah.
And if they can keep him
upright,
they can keep him and Joe Mixon healthy,
yes.
They have a shot in the AFC North.
So, big time. Yeah, I agree.
They're there.
Yeah, no,
they just have to figure it out,
Their defense and their O-line need to get better. But Joe Burrow at 80 overall ADP, I think that's a good ADP. What's that, the start of the 9th? Because he could be like last year's Dak. I don't want to say that, but when you have an offense that's really good and a defense that's really bad, that's a recipe for fantasy points. And then the last player we could touch on for the Bengals is the coveted Joe Mixon. I see a lot of guys on Twitter and a couple guys in this room that don't want anything to do with Joe Mixon because they got burned. Man. I love Joe Mixon. Anyone who knows me knows I love me some Joe Mixon.
A little too much.
I know, but I think this year, buying back in, ADP is currently 21. He was the top 10 running back before he got hurt. A lot of that was boosted up by that huge Jacksonville Jaguars game that he had. But I think that the talent is there. There's a lot of risk that comes with Joe Mixon, but the payoff could be for real. Who had him in this room? I think Joe did, right?
Yeah, I took a chance on him last year because you pretty much convinced me.
Yeah. Throw me under the bus, yo.
I hopped on the wagon, but it kind of bit me in the behind a little bit. So I don't know. It's. I'm kind of in the same position this year in your league, but I don't know if I want to take that chance again.
All right,
It's a tough grab for me.
Oh, it is. No guarantees.
I 100% agree with you. When he's on the field, he's one of the best players on the field. But that's when he's healthy and on the field.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's hurt often, that's for sure. Drew, are you
Exactly.
gonna? What are you
I mean,
thinking?
Mixon does have his upside, like you're saying. It's just he's got to stay healthy. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Gio Bernard left too.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
I mean,
huge.
Mixon's
Samaje
workload-
Perine is bad. Dude.
His workload should be
there.
down
Yes.
every drive. So.
Yes. What do you think?
I personally like Joe Mixon, but
Yes.
he's too much of a risk for me. I had him last year in the league, and
So you're like an. Eckler,
he's an RB1 when
Jones,
he's healthy. But
He is.
He's too much of a risk for me in the second or third round.
Yeah, unfortunately, running back drops off pretty quick. So, would you guys rather have Aaron Jones or Joe Mixon this year?
Aaron Jones.
I would rather Aaron Jones too.
I'm
What
taking Aaron Jones.
about Austin Eckler or Joe Mixon?
I'm
Austin
taking
Eckler.
Eckler.
I go Joe Mixon there. What about
I go
you?
Eckler because
You go
Mixon's
Eckler?
still more of a liability.
They
than
both
Eckler is.
get hurt, but I know
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah, but
all right, wait. What about here's a big one: Antonio Gibson or Joe Mixon? I'm Joe Mixon
That's-
all day.
that's a
dude.
tough.
I think
Joe
that's
Mixon.
a toss-up right there.
Bro, because Mixon or Gibson has to compete with McKissick. for
They have a
touches,
lot of
dude.
backs in that.
That's what I'm saying.
backfield.
Dude.
Yeah.
I think Gibson. I know McKissick is only the receiving back for the.
I know, but Joe
Football
Mixon is
team.
both.
Joe Mixon, yeah. If he gets that every down workload,
Yeah,
easy
that's
RB1.
it's automatic, dude. And there's
How's,
one.
yeah, but how's that Washington's O-line looking? Though?
I don't know. That's
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
It all depends on how that O-line.
But Fitzpatrick should be better than
they're
Alex
solid.
Smith
Fitzpatrick's
was, at
going to
least.
keep them scoring
100%.
points.
For sure. All right. That was our Bengals talk. We definitely, I think as a whole, think that they're going to come in fourth. I personally do. I think that this division's loaded. I think that, we never know. We don't know until the teams step on the field. But next up, we're going to do the Cleveland Brownies. One of the best stories of the year last year in the league. Loaded offense. And Big Drew, take it away on the big acquisitions for the Cleveland Browns, bro.
So the Browns were active this offseason. They had to revamp that defense. That secondary really killed them last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're solid everywhere on this depth chart. So the additions of John Johnson from the Rams, safety, Anthony Walker to fill the linebacker role, which they were missing last year. Malik Jackson on the D-line, Jadeveon Clowney.
They got Jadeveon Clowney?
Jadeveon Clowney, yeah.
What?
So
That's crazy.
It's another hype man, though. He never performed.
exactly, he's a big name, but all playing with Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a deadly pass.
Cleveland's going to be good, man. Did you get any offensive additions? Or they didn't really do much.
On offense,
On
no,
offense,
because
no.
they've been loaded.
They didn't need to, yeah.
They're getting Odell back this year,
Yeah,
which is going to fill in with Jarvis Landry. I mean, that's
nicely.
still one of the top duos in the league.
Yeah, I think Baker Mayfield is coming into his own. I don't think that he'll ever be like a top 5 quarterback in the league,
Yeah.
but I think that if you put the right pieces around him, he can definitely win you a chip. He's not going to be the reason that you win the chip. His current ADP is 116, 16 points per game. What's that, the 12th round? I don't hate that if you're a late round quarterback guy at all.
Exactly.
I think that
Definitely.
those...
In
yeah,
two
those-
QB leagues.
Oh, for sure, yeah. What do you think, Joe? You like Baker?
I think Baker is a mediocre quarterback.
Really?
100%. I think his team just makes him look better than what he is.
Like Ryan Tannehill?
100%. Like I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but you got Jarvis Landry,
Nick
Njoku,
Chubb.
Nick Chubb,
Yep.
Kareem Hunt,
So many weapons.
Odell when he's healthy.
Top 5 O-line.
You can't miss.
Austin Hooper.
Austin, like you cannot miss.
Yeah.
And then with that O line, it's like if you don't make it to the playoffs, like at that point you need
Exactly.
to be booted. You need the boot.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And
They
so-
almost won
I
it
don't-
last year, though. They almost beat Kansas City.
Mhm.
They were up in the fourth quarter in the playoff game, and then Pat
They
Mahomes...
can compete.
Or no, that was the
And that's why-
Chad Henne game.
And I think this season actually puts Baker in the hot seat.
It could.
Exactly.
It
All the
could.
pressure's
If he
on
can-
this season to
Oh,
perform.
100%.
Yeah.
Because if he can't prove that he's actually that QB1 that they've been looking for
Mhm.
all these years, then he's get the boot. They're gonna have to restart again.
Exactly.
Did he sign the extension or no?
Not yet. The other guys in the same draft class, Lamar and Josh Allen haven't either.
Yeah,
so
dude.
they're all due.
This is the year
get
for
paid.
Yeah.
They gotta get paid.
especially Baker. What do you think, Case? You like Baker?
He's a gunslinger on some games.
He is.
He can throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns on most teams in the league, but he's not consistent for me to take a chance on him.
No. Yeah.
No.
Well, they have the best running back duo in the NFL with Nick Chubby Chubb. This is a PG show, so we're not going to say any nicknames. And then Kareem Hunt, which I think Kareem Hunt would start for probably every single NFL team outside of 5 of them, but he's on one of the NFL teams that he wouldn't because he's behind a great running back. But Nick Chubb, current ADP is 9. Points per game 16 last year. He always hovered around like that 15 to 20 points per game in PPR, which is really like a solid RB1. I don't think that he ever has the upside as long as Hunt's there to finish as the RB1, but I definitely think that consistency-wise and like most bust-proof, Nick Chubb has got to be like top 3 because he is locked and loaded.
He's definitely a reliable first-round pick, I would say. I mean, if they can just get him some more targets,
Yeah.
if he starts catching 2-3 balls a game,
Yeah, it's
oh my
over
God.
with, dude.
he could be the RB1.
Yeah, big
He's a
time.
bulldozer too. I mean, he's a goal line
Oh.
back. Like
You can't tackle Chubb.
Runs
Points
through
all day.
people.
I wouldn't sleep on Kareem Hunt, though.
No, I wouldn't
Oh,
either.
He had
I think
double-digit
he's too- I think
touchdowns
he's playing
last
too
year.
low, to be honest.
Yeah. His ADP is 53. That's actually one of a value that I really like because
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt last year, I know his points per game is only 11.3, but that's skewed because I think he had a couple games where he left with injury.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a solid, like, I think he finished in PPR as a top 10 running back, and like, I know that those that had him, it was maybe a bumpy road, but when it comes to the running back landscape this year, it's absolutely abysmal. So
I mean, if he's there, that was that
the sixth
sixth
round,
round?
yeah,
I
you
mean,
could do worse.
He could be a flex.
He could be
That's
easily,
a good
yeah.
flex pick
Or
right
if
there.
you go 0 RB, he could even be an RB too.
Mm-hmm.
And then their receiving core, Jarvis Landry, ADP 103, the 11th round PPR machine, or at least he had been in years past. His point per game last year was 12.5. Jarvis Landry is like the most basic wide receiver 3 you will ever see. He will
And no
not-
one wants to draft,
Yeah.
but he'll still be a wide receiver.
Yeah,
3.
yeah. Not like the sexiest name, doesn't have crazy upside, but he'll get you 7 for 70 in any given week. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that's not the worst thing to have. If you want to shoot for the moon, you got to do it in other places. But Jarvis Landry in the 11th round, I think that you could do worse. Do you guys like Jarvis or what?
He's good as a flex play.
Fine flex.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Odell is like, that's just the guy. ADP 68.
Jarvis depends on Odell and Baker, because Jarvis had good stats last season because there was no Odell. You know,
But I mean, they play different positions. Jarvis just literally runs across the field and just like
Yeah,
catches
he's over the
an
middle.
8-yard hitch. But I don't know. I've never
I'm not
seen.
really big on.
You're not a big Jarvis guy?
I don't know.
He just doesn't have a lot of upside, that's all. He doesn't score touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He gets 1,100 yards and 5 touchdowns every year.
Yeah.
But Odell Beckham, I've never seen someone fall off from
A
dominance.
cliff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham, his first 4 years with the Giants was absolutely sick. Like, I've never seen a receiver perform like that. And now it's like where the heck did that go, dude?
I know. I mean, I don't think I'm not buying him at this ADP this year.
No, it's
No
late
way.
7th, you don't want him?
Still, no.
Really? Even if you go with heavy
I
RB,
don't
you
know,
wouldn't take
man.
him?
I'm
What?
not taking Odell this year. I think there's other guys around that area you could get, like T. Higgins.
Mhm.
I would prefer T. Higgins over Odell.
Really?
To be
I
honest.
like Higgins a lot.
No kid.
Some of the other players going around Odell Beckham's ADP are Brandon Ayuk,
Yes, I like Brandon Ayuk over Odell.
Dante Johnson,
I would do that too.
Yeah,
Chase Claypool.
Chase
I would.
Claypool.
That's a sleeper pick.
Yeah, I can't go Chase Claypool.
I
You
wouldn't
know?
do Chase
I can't
Claypool
go
over
Chase
him.
Claypool over Odell. All right, moving on to Big Drew's Big Baltimore Ravens. Big Drew, what do you got for that Ravens acquisition, bro?
And the Ravens and Eric DeCosta, the GM, been making moves.
Plug.
Big signings for Sammy Watkins.
Yawn.
I mean, people aren't big on him. I love Sammy.
I think he's better than Brown for sure.
I mean, the rumors are he's been looking the best wide receiver out of camp so far.
Mm-hmm.
They picked up Alejandro Villanueva, right tackle from the Steelers,
Yeah.
coming over. And they picked up Kevin Zeitler, so right guard on. They're just trying to rebuild their O-line, which was struggling last year. I mean, they get 2 established veterans. I think that's going to be helpful. And they just signed Justin Houston last week
Yeah, it's a big signing.
for $2 million base salary.
Yeah,
Like,
I like that
proven
flyer.
pass rusher. I mean, you
That's
can't
nice.
beat that.
Yeah, I think Lamar Jackson did a lot of people dirty. Big Drew included in our home league last year. What was his ADP? Like second round or something?
I took him in the 4th round.
Fourth round. It was
Yeah.
early fourth though.
Early
right?
fourth,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And he had his ADP this year is 37, so late fourth round, 22.8 points per game. Was still a quarterback one, but just wasn't worth the MVP price
Yeah.
that you had to pay for him.
I'm buying him at that price this year, too.
You are?
Yeah.
Yo,
I
nah.
will
dude.
always take Lamar.
So you would take him over Kyler Murray?
Lamar over Kyler?
I
Yes,
would. I would take Lamar over Kyler. I
I
would
would.
take.
Even
I'll
with
take-
the weapons Kyler has now?
Yeah.
I just think, dude, I've seen so many plays last year where Kyler scrambled because he literally could not see over the line. I'm not
Exactly.
exaggerating.
Have they
he
even
I
can't-
don't
done
think
anything?
Kyler is as good as.
I don't
he's
either.
pretty good. He had like 10 rushing TDs.
Yes.
That's so hard to repeat.
If D coordinators figure out his rushing ability, which they can, because
Yeah.
they did it to Lamar
Mhm.
this year, like, look, Kyler Murray's going to fall off a cliff from last year, bro. What do you think, Big Joe? You agree?
I mean, I don't know. I think I would probably stick with Lamar.
Over Kyler?
Over
Who else?
Kyler.
All right, Dak Prescott or Lamar?
That's close because I like the Cowboys' offense this year.
They're going
Oh,
back
yeah.
to back.
I'd probably take Dak.
Dak, yeah? What about, we got Justin Herbert or Lamar?
Lamar.
I'm going.
I'm going.
I don't
love
know.
Herbert,
dude.
too.
Depends.
I
I
like
like
Herbert,
Herbert
bro.
a lot.
I think Lamar just runs more.
He
Rushing
does,
value.
dude. Rushing is the
Rushing.
cheat code.
For fantasy,
Yes,
exactly.
dude. All right, couple other quarterbacks. Two others. Russell Wilson or Lamar?
Ooh,
If-
that's a tough one.
dude,
Russ
Okay.
might
That's
cook
a
this
tough
year.
one.
If
So
they let Russ cook, like
Russ
ain't cooking.
Russ's weapons, dude.
I
think
Tyler
Russ
Lockett,
is
DK
cooking,
Metcalf,
man.
bro. Get
I
out of here. And then last one, Aaron Rodgers going ADP 52. That's definitely going to rise. There's no way.
that's got to be from old.
It has to be. Aaron Rodgers or Lamar? I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers over Lamar?
I would this year, yeah. Do you remember last year when I had Aaron Rodgers and I got him in the 13th round and Dave
Nobody
Patrick?
wanted it.
Dave
David
Patrick said,
yeah.
"Yo, he shouldn't even be owned. You should drop him."
I remember that.
Good thing I didn't listen to Dave. I'm keeping that in there. All right. Congrats, Dave, on the win. Fantasy champ. All right. Moving on. JK Dobbins, 31 overall. Points per game, 10 last year. That doesn't even matter, though, because he wasn't the starter until week 9. They were giving Mark Ingram the first carry of the game and then taking him out just for a veteran's, like, savvy. I don't
For
even
some
know what that
stats,
yeah, something like that. So I think I'm on the record as saying I think J.K. Dobbins is going to finish as a top 5 running back this year. I think that he's going to be an absolute beast. 6 yards per carry last year, which is the most of any running back this millennium with over 100 carries in a season. He is crazy talented. I think when you watch him play, it is such a blast to watch play. And I think that I should pass it over to Drew because he is the Ravens fan in this group just to rave about Dobbins. I don't know. I think there's a couple people in here that don't like J.K. Dobbins as much as me and Drew do. But
Which
we'll
is
have to see.
crazy because I don't know what they're seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, Dobbins is one of the best backs that came out last year.
Yes.
6 yards per carry, led the entire NFL as a rookie.
Unreal.
I mean, he was only getting 10 to 15 touches a game
Yes.
last year. I mean,
And still rushing for 100 yards. when you get to
Exactly.
it.
so if you just think he's going to get 18 to 20 without Ingram there, I mean, that's RB1 and you can get him in the 3rd round.
Yeah, all day, dude. All day. And he's in the best rushing offense in NFL history statistically. I mean, what are we missing? Mark Ingram left.
Exactly.
Mark
You
Ingram.
are missing one part of his game.
What's that, dude?
Receiving.
That's true.
That is
He
true.
He didn't
Yes.
catch a lot of balls last year.
You have to uptake that for it to.
What did he have last year? Did you see
He
it?
had 18 receptions for 120 yards
That's
on 24 targets.
That's a concern. But I will say, his first 8 weeks he was not starting. Like I would be curious to see his receiving stats from week 10 on because reports out of camp are that he is really involved in the receiving game this year.
game.
I think that come draft, I could see the hype getting just like out of control and JK getting like a
He's
top
a fast
20 pick.
riser,
Yeah, he
for
is,
sure.
man.
He is.
He's a beast. Gus Edwards, the handcuff, and then the receiving core is a little gross, to say the least. Sammy Watkins, I know that he's good when he's healthy, but I I've had the Sammy Watkins hype. I've heard it. I think that he's a really good player. He does one thing really well. He just can't stay healthy. And then Marquise Brown as well. Not the biggest fan. And then the rookie Rashad Bateman. I'm actually a little curious about him. I've heard, what's he, from Minnesota?
Yeah, Rashad Bateman's out of Minnesota. I mean, if you're going off of his stats from 2 years ago, he was regarded right up there with Jamar Chase coming out. And after a COVID season where he opted in and then opted out, it kind of hurt his draft capital, so he fell down to the Ravens. But, I mean, he's going to be an instant performer.
I think so.
And Marquise Brown's already hurt.
Yeah, already.
He pulled his hamstring, so Bateman's going to start week 1.
Yeah, big time, big time. Who do you like, Joe, out of this receiving core, if any?
I mean, I'm going to give Sammy Watkins the benefit of the doubt this season, honestly. I'm going to go off of what those reports are saying, and I'm gonna take that. But I think Marquise Brown can probably be the difference maker, honestly.
Hollywood, yeah.
I think Hollywood Brown could
Once
probably
he's
be
healthy,
the difference
man.
maker in the offense if he's healthy.
I'm not a big believer in Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, me neither, bro.
I think the best we've seen from him is in the past with Pat Mahomes throwing the ball.
Or when he was on the Bills, remember he was like a second-round pick all
Bills,
those years,
yeah,
dude?
he was really good on the Bills.
I remember
And
that.
what's funny about that is the offensive coordinator on the Bills at the time is the Ravens this year. So he's connecting with Greg Roman again.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's when he was having his career years.
that's true.
I mean, I think he's going to step right into the wide receiver 1 role early for the team.
I'm going to have to disagree with that. You know, 3 years he was playing for Kansas City, he posted up 40 receptions, 52 receptions, and 37 receptions, three years in a row, respectively.
Yeah, I think that he just is always hurt. But when he's healthy, he's like
When he's healthy, he's good.
solid player. Not crazy good, but like he can give you like 3 for 100 and a touchdown every once in
Exactly.
a while.
And his history of week 1 performances.
Yes.
He's going to be in every one of my DFS lineups.
Yeah, I remember 2 years ago when he played the Jaguars and he went off, everyone was like, Tyreek Hill or Sammy Watkins.
Yeah,
I was like,
people were
yeah. And then the tight end, Mark Andrews, one of the most interesting tight ends, I think, in this year's class of tight ends because he was regarded as Kittle, Kelsey level last year, and then when he was taken in drafts, it's not that he had like a bad year, but he wasn't like...
He did not live up to
No.
expectations.
God, no. ADP 49, 12.2 points per game last year. 49, back into the 5th. I don't hate that, though.
So who are you taking? Mark Andrews or Kyle Pitts?
Oh, dude.
Because they got
Dude,
about the same ADP.
I like Kyle Pitts. I was just telling Tucker. I like Kyle Pitts a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, I know he's a rookie tight end,
I know.
but he's the best tight end to come out of the draft in a long time.
Ages, yeah.
So like you gotta give him the benefit of the doubt.
Tight end never goes in the
And
top
then with
5
Julio
NFL
gone,
draft.
No,
with Julio gone, that's just more targets to him, you know.
exactly. They're gonna throw the ball a
Yeah,
ton.
and Matt Ryan's still
Slinging
a
it.
pro NFL quarterback.
Like he's,
Mhm.
Like he's still, you know.
And that defense sucks, still.
Yeah.
they're gonna have to put up points in that division for
that's
sure.
true. So Mark Andrews or T.J. Hawkinson? I'm so done with the T.J. Hawkinson hype, bro.
You don't like TJ?
No, dude.
I
No.
mean, I think that's a toss-up. They're both about the same to me. I mean, the Lions, I don't know how many pieces of the Lions offense I want on my fantasy team this year.
Swift, that's it for me.
Yeah.
I think the Lions are going to be the worst team in the NFL. I really do.
Worse than the Texans?
I do, yeah. The Texans at least have, like, Brandon Cooks, Phillip Lindsay. Like, the Lions are so bad, dude. Would you rather Mark Andrews or Noah Fant?
Mark Andrews.
Mark
Mark
Andrews,
Andrews.
for sure, yeah.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews or top 3 tight end finisher Logan Thompson. Or Thomas last year, rather.
I'm going to say no for Logan Thomas because Ryan Fitzpatrick's throwing the ball. And
Yeah.
history-wise, he doesn't throw to tight ends.
The only thing is, like, Mark Andrews he's been an elite tight end for a season, which is
Exactly.
just, like, the thing that's getting me. And then Dallas Goedert or Mark Andrews. If Ertz leaves, I wouldn't bat my eyes at Dallas Goedert.
But Ertz is back this year.
Yeah, he's still there. So, I don't know. I think Mark Andrews is a solid option, though. And moving on to our Pittsburgh Steelers, Joe's beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers this year, I think, can go either 5-12 or 12-5. I see a lot of different outcomes for the team. I think that we should pass it to Drew, and then he could pass it to Joe. Drew could read off his acquisitions, and then Joe can defend his Steelers.
I got
Yeah,
I'll
let Joe take it. I'll let Joe
I
take
got
it.
these acquisitions.
Take it over,
let me let you boys know. Melvin Ingram. I'll start off with the most noticeable acquisition.
No
of free
sacks
agency.
last year.
That's okay. That's okay.
Washed up.
That's okay. First 3 years Pro Bowl selections. That's okay. I'll take that all day. We lose Bud Dupree, but we get that back with Melvin Ingram. It's okay. Honestly, we probably get double that. I think Melvin Ingram's probably better than Bud Dupree anyway.
You think he's better than Bud Dupree?
Maybe
I think
prime
he-
Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, he's a few.
And then we get a veteran in Trey Turner on the offensive line.
That's a nice.
right
I like
guard.
that
They
pickup.
needed
Right
that.
guard from the
That pickup.
Chargers.
I like that.
And then we also get Chaz Green from the Colts. He's a veteran too.
All right.
He's a pretty good pickup. So
So,
you guys are sleeping on the offensive line. I think our run game this year is going to be pretty good.
Najee.
So we'll see because Najee's got some meat in front of him this year. So I think we won't have an issue with that.
We'll start at the quarterback position. Big Ben coming off that Tommy John surgery. Late round flyer, 18.5 points per game last year. I think that his numbers were a little inflated because literally when you watch the Steelers, they ran the ball about 2 times a game, and they threw the ball every single
down.
play last year.
I mean, we had no option.
I know
We had
their
no
running
other
game.
option.
Yeah, their running game was bad last year, but I think Big Ben, because of the weapons around him, if you wanted to take a flyer on him in the late rounds as a late round QB, if you're a late round QB guy, maybe you can stack him with another late round quarterback. But if you're gonna pay like a 15th round pick for your quarterback, I don't see any reason why Big Ben can't be one of the 2 guys that you take. What do you guys think?
I just really think they're gonna try to lean on that run game.
Yeah.
They got to take some pressure off Big Ben. There's no way he's running out there throwing 500 plus times again.
Yeah.
Like that's not possible. So I'm gonna stay away from him in fantasy as much as I can.
All right. Yeah, I think if there's one, if you had a category for running backs that you could guarantee 300 touches for, it's a short list, but Najee Harris is definitely
on that list.
list.
100%.
I think who is it? Nick Chubb, Ezekiel Elliott, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, Derrick Henry. Maybe that's it.
Henry, yeah.
That's about it. That's all I can. I mean, I'm not saying that about Jonathan Taylor. I'm not saying that about Aaron Jones. I'm not saying that, I think that Najee Harris, something tells me that the hype train is going to push him into the back end of the first round when it comes to draft day.
Yeah, all the rookies are just skyrocketing up right now. So, I mean, like you said, he's guaranteed 300 touches if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
And where he's going in drafts, you're not getting that kind of value from anyone else.
Yeah, he's ADP 15 right now, but I think that's going to rise in the next couple weeks for sure. So would you guys rather have other guys around him like Austin Eckler or Najee Harris?
I'm still taking Eckler.
Eckler, yeah? What about you,
I mean,
Case?
that's close.
I'll take Eckler.
Eckler? I think I'm going Najee, bro.
I think Najee's just taking a bet.
So,
I think I'm going Najee.
Eckler's just
He's skin and bones, bro.
He's just
skin
he's
and
small,
bones?
dude.
No.
He's so small, bro.
He's just
he's short,
dude.
but
Like,
He's short.
you have to hope and pray that he does not get hurt
yeah.
All right, here's one.
a third of the way into the season
Who?
for him to pan out. Eckler.
Oh, no, I know. But
I
when he
think
is healthy, he's
Najee,
good.
He catches
Najee
8
is
passes
such a
a
tank.
game.
Najee is such a tank that he can be that workhorse and just you can give him the ball 20, 30 times a game, and he'll give you that production.
Yeah,
Did
you're right.
Najee
He'll be
catch
okay.
balls?
Najee,
Yes, he did.
He's good in
Yes,
the
he
pass
did.
game.
He's a very good passer.
They're
He's a
going to try to
complete
use him like
running back.
Le'Veon Bell.
yeah, I think so
And-
too.
They're
Le'Veon
going
Bell
back
was
to the
a beast.
zone run offense, so they're going run heavy this year. And
So-
I can't wait to see what they're gonna do.
Here's a huge question: Najee Harris or Jonathan Taylor?
Wow, yeah. That's tough now with
the
Wentz
Carson
out.
Wentz, yeah.
We don't know when he's coming back.
Nelson's out.
Yeah, Nelson's out. We don't know when he's coming back.
Marlon Mack is back. Naheem Hines is still there. I am so down
it's
on Jonathan
tough.
Taylor. It's not even
He
funny.
is, he's a fast faller, and I don't think I'm going to touch him this year. There's
I
too many
wouldn't-
question marks.
I wouldn't take him if he fell to the third round.
Yeah.
Oh, I would take him in the third.
In the
round,
third?
but in the
Yeah.
second, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Wait, so would you go Najee or Jonathan Taylor?
I would take Najee.
No,
Najee.
I'm not a big
Yeah,
Najee.
Najee.
Yeah,
Okay,
Najee.
Najee.
What about Najee or Aaron Jones? Last one. I think I'm going AJ, dude.
I gotta take AJ. Yeah.
Better quarterback, better offense.
AJ, obviously, but
I mean, he's gonna score more TDs, hopefully.
And then,
just
all right,
the
Joe Mixon or Najee Harris, 2 NFC running backs.
I'm taking. I don't.
tough.
This isn't even like Steelers like opinionated. I'm
Biased.
taking Najee just because I've struggled with Joe Mixon last year. Took a chance on him. I can't.
Right.
I'm going Najee too.
All right, and then, so that settles the Steelers running back room is literally just Najee Harris because Benny Snell last year was really not good. I don't know. We were just talking about off air the Washington game where Snell got stuffed like 4 times on the 1 yard line, and I had him in one of my leagues, and I was so depressed about that. But yeah, Najee Harris, I really like him, but if he's going to be going in the first round, I'm going to be staying away, especially because most of my leagues I don't have a back end pick. But I don't know. The workload is for sure intriguing, and then the receivers have arguably the most intriguing receiving room in the NFL with Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Deontay Johnson, super talented, just had a case of the dropsies last year. Current ADP 55, middle of the 6th round pick, 14.8 points per game in PPR last year, but he really came on. I think that if there's one player, receiver-wise, that can make a jump to be like a serious wide receiver 1, it's Deontay Johnson because he's sick talented.
Yeah.
Like, he's so good.
I mean, I had Deontay last year. He killed me with those 3 games. If anyone had him, you know what I'm talking about. He had 3 games in the first quarter and finished with 0. So, I mean, he killed me, but I know the talent's there, and Big Ben loves him.
He does.
He just peppers him with targets.
Yeah,
so.
he does. He
Well, I
definitely
don't
does.
think you guys are giving Chase Claypool enough credit.
He doesn't start, though.
Well, dude, in the first 7 games, he finished second behind Justin Jefferson in
Points per
in
game.
rookie receivers in yards. Yards per route run, and he was 10th in routes per game.
I know. He's dumb talented.
And his efficiency should steady out in this next season. So I think you should give him more credit and probably look into him more than Deontay Johnson. Then
Nah.
I had Claypool last year, and I was watching Deontay Johnson get all the targets and all the receptions. And Claypool is more of a deep ball guy.
he's
Yeah.
the
And a
deep
touchdown
ball.
guy.
Yeah. He's jacked as mother.
Deontay Johnson's worth the ADP where he's going.
I think so, too.
The people around him, like Kenny Galladay for receivers.
Deontay Johnson, you're saying?
Yeah, Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson. Would you rather have Deontay Johnson or DJ Moore?
That's a tough one.
I'm going DJ Moore.
I'm going Deontay Johnson.
I like Deontay Johnson.
You're
That's a
Sam
tough
Darnold throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Teddy Bridgewater throwing him the ball last year. That didn't matter.
if DJ Moore's lining up in the slot in Carolina, dude, he is going to be a good player. So I'd probably go DJ Moore.
What about who else? Cooper Kupp or Deontay Johnson? I think I go Deontay Johnson there.
Yep, I agree.
Matt Stafford, though.
Cooper Kupp. Yeah, I love Cooper Kupp.
It's Matt Stafford. That's not.
I mean, they're going to throw the ball a ton now with they just lost Cam Akers. I
Yeah.
mean,
Then who else? Deontay Johnson or Kenny Galladay?
I would take Deontay.
Deontay?
There's too much of a risk for me with Galladay.
yeah, Deontay.
Yeah, I don't trust Daniel Jones.
Deontay Johnson or Jamar Chase?
Johnson. I'd go Johnson.
I'd go Johnson.
I would too, yeah.
All right, last one. How about a running back? Deontay Johnson or Mike Davis? What's good with this Mike Davis hype, bro? I think he's so
Mike Davis?
he's so okay.
Yeah,
Like he's all right,
average.
bro.
He's getting kind of old, right?
A little, but he's the only option in
Exactly.
Atlanta.
So, like, he's guaranteed that volume. So people like him.
And he catches the ball.
And then
Yeah.
there's one other guy. Brandon Ayuk is going 2 spots behind Deontay Johnson. I'd rather have Ayuk, personally. I think Ayuk's
Really?
a good player, yeah.
I love Ayuk too.
He's so good, man.
He's going to be one of the top receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
But do you think who's going to start, Trey Lance or?
I know.
That's a big camp battle.
I think Trey Lance will
I
eventually
like
start.
Trey Lance.
I do too.
I like Trey Lance.
I think he's raw, but he will
Exactly.
start. And then the last receiver in the room is Juju Smith-Schuster. Crazy how we haven't said his name at all
I know.
yet.
No one likes Juju anymore.
Fell off. He was dancing on the TikToks.
Well,
and all that
Doo-doo
good
Smith.
stuff.
This past season was his worst season.
By far.
His rookie season was his best season, but this coming season he's on pace to average out to have 9 touchdowns and like 1,100 yards. So honestly, I think he's gonna have a pretty good season this year too.
I think he definitely could if he's starting. I can't believe he's going behind Claypool. Smith-Schuster's ADP is 72, 14.6 points per game.
I'm taking him over Claypool.
I think I am too, yeah.
I mean, this is still like a very good wide receiver room.
It is. It's
oh
loaded.
yeah,
It's loaded.
definitely.
I don't think these
one of the best in the
ADPs
NFL.
actually like accurately represent this wide receiver room.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think I want Deontay Johnson by far over the other two. That's me personally.
Great.
And then Eric Ebron still plays for them, tight end option, not really anything crazy.
Yeah,
It's
not
kinda-
looking to pick him up.
Pat Freiermuth is probably the better tight end option on that.
Who's that?
Steelers offense. Pat Freiermuth.
Okay. That's a name to
the
watch.
The rookie tight end we drafted out of Penn State. I think he'll probably be the better tight end option this year out of the Steelers offense, to be honest. 'Cause he's big, he's fast, he can catch, and he's making a lot of plays at camp. So
It's a late round flyer right there.
All right. That was our AFC North preview with Drew, Casey, and Joe. I want to thank those guys again for coming on the show. It was a blast. We have one more segment that we recorded with them that I'm going to drop tomorrow. ADP price check, average draft position price check. We each gave 2 players that we loved. And we'll do some news and notes on the show tomorrow as well, and maybe one more segment. But until then, thank you guys for listening, and have a great rest of your day.